Welcome to Gamers from Nowhere!
Woo!
Today we're going to talk about Pokémon news. Pokémon.
Is this the new edible thing that Game Freak's got?
Yes. Yeah, I bet there's such a thing as a Pokemon crossover with Japanese Pocky. I guarantee you.
I wouldn't be surprised. By the way, we're joined by guests today.
Right.
Yep. Hunter and Garrity.
We actually ventured out of nowhere to come and do this podcast for once.
Right. We're in the middle of somewhere.
Come on, you're still in nowhere. You're more nowhere than you usually are.
That's
true.
If you guys knew where Shane lived, you'd understand that.
Shane, the artist, and Dustin, here he is.
Dustin's the artist too.
Hawkins, the artist, who made our fan art. And Doosan, who randomly shows up every once in a while.
Anyway, we're going to talk about Sun and Moon.
Hawkins is not polite to interrupt.
We're the hosts. We introduce the topics. Okay.
Let's talk about Pokemon.
Okay, so starters revealed, region revealed, trainers revealed.
I haven't seen this. What are you talking about?
Alright, allow us to fill you in.
There's a new starter, there's a new region, there's a new...
A new starter?
There's a new starter. Okay.
A new starter?
A new starter. Anyway, let's talk about our first impressions, because that's the most important thing in life.
For what game, though? What game are we talking about?
Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon.
For what systems?
The Sega Saturn.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
Shane, tell me about your initial impressions.
Alright, so I didn't like the starters at first.
Shame
on
you.
Hater.
I didn't like them at all. But the more I saw them, I think, like every Pokemon that I ever don't like over time I grow accustomed to it and I don't mind it anymore.
Except for Sigilith.
This was actually, I don't mind Sigilith. This was actually like faster than usual. Poplio, first of all.
Love Poplio.
Sorry, I thought it was the doofiest thing ever when I first saw it. And now I don't mind it. I thought Litten, whatever, I thought it looked like a yokai. But It
definitely does look like a yokai.
It's okay, bro.
I think they're fine now.
For me, you missed one.
What's that?
Rowlet.
I don't mention Rowlet because I didn't really have anything against Rowlet, even from the beginning. It's okay to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, well, Ben, what did you think?
More or less the same thing Shane did. I didn't like Dipley.
Poplio.
Pagliacci.
But he's cool now. Litten is a yokai. He's mistakenly added to the trailer. I'm waiting for Game Freak to sort that out. But Litten's okay, and Rowlet is. I plan on starting with Rowlet just because. I will say it's about to have another starter that can fly.
Well, we're assuming that was the previous two bird.
It's flying type.
I know, but the previous two bird starters that we've had have gone. But well, I mean, it makes sense for the penguin.
Chickens and penguins don't fly.
Yeah, chickens and penguins don't fly.
Chickens can kind of fly.
Oh, what do you mean kind of fly? What is that?
That's why Blaziken can jump really high.
They can fall with style.
Okay,
that's it. I mean, Shane, you watch too much opera right now.
Well, I mean, even
owls do nothing but fly. They can't even walk. They can't even stand. All they can do is fly.
They can't even breathe.
They can fly.
They flutter for a while and die.
Point taken. What about the legendaries?
Okay.
Those aren't owls.
Whoa. What about our impressions of the starters?
Y'all are just jumping over to our own show, man.
Our own show, for Christ's sake. Okay. Okay, let me tell you. I'm going to tell you a play-by-play of what I thought about these starters. Here we go. Okay. So, I got a text from Shane. He says, I don't care for the here's my Shane impression. I don't care for the Pokemon themselves, especially the Water Starter and Moon Legendary. And then here's me. The Grass and Water Starter was like DeviantArt fan mod. The bad kind. But whatever. I'll probably end up liking them in a month. And then I texted Hunter. Well, Hunter texted me, what did you think? And I said, the Grass and Water Starters look like actual trash. Fire looks okay.
So what do you think now?
I think the fire looks beautiful and the others look like trash. I'm kidding. Okay, I like them all actually. I actually, for a little bit, struggled with what I wanted to pick. I had like a mental crisis where I was like, oh, do I really want Litten? And then the universe responded with, yeah!
So I'll stand by what I said. I'm still not really crazy about the Moon Legendary. Like, it's alright, but it's going to take some getting used to.
Anyway, Hunter's impressions of the starters.
I had to mention it then because he just read my text out loud.
Anyway, I was kind of disappointed with the grass and the fire starter, which is completely different from what everybody else is. Poplio stood out to me a lot. I don't know why, but just for whatever reason, I just felt like, okay, this is definitely the one I'm going to start with.
Do you have a nose fetish?
Whoa. You can like something without having nose fetish sometimes.
It comes from the guy with the biggest honker here.
Hunker's number. Anyway, we're back. We had a little scuffle moment. Hunter, so you're down with Poglio?
Poglio.
What's it called?
Poplio.
It's Dipley.
Piplup?
Anyway, I thought that it's funny because it was like, we get Rowlet, and I'm like, really? Rowlet, this does not look good at all. And then we got Litten. We got Litten, and I was just like, okay, this looks like a yokai. A bunch of this game looks like Yokai Watch to me a little bit. Just the way that it's shaded, I guess. Anyway, and then Poplio, I just was like, okay, I gotta pick this guy because he's like, the goofiest looking one of them all. I guess it's the derpiness of it that I like the most. But anyway, so as time went on, I was kind of like, okay, well, Rowlet's actually kind of cool, and it's funny because I always am like the fire guy. I'm like, I want the fire starter. Even when we had Pet Pig, I was like, fire starter.
What about Finnegan?
Yeah, Finnegan too.
What about Cynical? You're more of a fur alligator kind of guy, if I'm not mistaken.
I am now, but when I first played Silver and Gold, I played with.
What about Yellow?
Yellow doesn't count. Anyway, but for me, Litten is just trash. I have no care for Litten whatsoever. It looks too much like a yokai. It does not belong in the Pokemon universe.
Oh my god. Anyway.
Where do we go from here? The region map, the legendaries?
I think
Shane really wants to talk about the legendaries.
I don't really want to.
Anyway, Shane, tell us about that bat. I'm kidding. Let's talk about the region. The region, as you all know, here, I'm going to show it up on the screen. You ready?
I'm not going to know what song to put that up on.
Okay.
Flash it every time you hear a popping noise.
Okay, so as you can see, the region is dumb. I'm just kidding. It's very small. You can actually see the buildings. I believe there's actually, you can even, if you look closely, you can even see what looks like a Pokemon Center, which makes me feel like this is a very, very small region. However, Justin, this is where you come with your theory.
I think it's going to be broken into multiple islands, like everyone else's theory. I think that much is obvious, just because we're going to have 1.5 gyms, and then
that's it.
Yeah.
And then one Elite Four member.
I kind of agree with that. I think the picture that we got of the region, air quotes, I actually think that's like just your home island, or I've heard some people say that this is a resort that you're visiting. Like, this is not where you're originally from.
Ooh.
So I think that'd be pretty cool. You go to this paradise place to go get your first Pokemon. That's pretty cool in my opinion. But this is just like you might have the first gym on here, but I think this is like your home island. Where your professor is and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the professor does say, "Welcome to Aloha."
Yeah, so
Aloha.
What? Oh, wow. Aloha is the actual word.
Scum, Dustin.
So and that's where I get the fact that it's like, okay, maybe you're not from this place.
That's true. He does welcome you like you're from somewhere else.
Or it could be that that's the name of that specific island. That might not be the name of the region that we have.
Oh.
But it has a long O, or the O-O.
What are you talking about, Ho-Ho?
He's talking about like
Kanto, Johto.
I get that.
Hobo.
Unova?
Unova.
I hate that name still.
Unova?
I hate it.
Kalos.
Kalos. Anyway, so yeah, that's the general gist. Is that this is going to be a big old archipelago.
I can hear IGN screaming right now. Too much water.
This is getting a 6.8. They've gone too far.
It's like a movie trailer.
But here's the thing. Here's my thing. If this is like the picture that we see,
Right, okay.
if this is the full region, then here's my like bold prediction for not necessarily post game, but like after you get your 8 badges and stuff. I think this is actually might be like the southern part of Kalos, because in the Kalos,
I'm putting my tinfoil hat on.
no, in the Kalos map, if I remember correctly, I should have looked at it beforehand. In the Kalos map, right there in the southeast region of it is kind of clouded off, like it could be another part of a different region, and they just don't want you to know about it.
Well, that's why I thought it was Spain originally.
Yeah, so I could easily see them expanding out from Kalos, and like the smoke down there at that bottom part of it is a volcano from Alola.
I think it's an interesting idea. I think at most we'll visit part of Kalos if we do it, though. I don't feel like they're gonna, because they have new character designs. As the characters aren't quite as bobbleheaded and this time around.
I agree.
So that means they'd have to redo a lot of the designs of the NPCs in the game. And do you really think they're going to go through X and Y and do all that? Just
they would have to increase the size of everything in Kalos.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they kind of did that when they redid Heartlands of Silver.
Yeah.
They went through and made everything in Kanto updated.
Good point. I have nothing to rebut against that.
So, I mean, I'm not saying that it's a definite that's the way it's going to be, but I feel like it's been a long-awaited thing where you have a 2-region game.
Yes.
And just it seems to, if you look at pictures, and if I'm remembering correctly, they do look like they should kind of mesh together in a way. It's a stretch, I admit.
I feel like it looks like it should mesh with Hoenn.
Because of all the water?
Yes. I mean, it really does kind of, I get a Hoenn feel from it, but...
Yeah. But anyway, so that's my thought on this game. I think that, I really do feel like we'll end up going to Kalos at some point. Probably by train, because we got that one train station.
How? From an island?
Hey.
There are underground.
Yeah, I mean,
That's true.
there's ways that it could happen.
There's I actually took a funnel to Paris to London before, so it is possible.
So it's not that much of a stretch to think that they could do it. So, but anyway, so legendaries. I have to say,
Team Sun, hashtag.
I mean, the Sun legendary looks freaking awesome.
It looks like a Zoid, doesn't it?
It does look like a Zoid.
It really does.
I mean, it's a huge, like, burly lion-looking thing with the fact. I mean, its face itself is really cool because of the fact that it's got like stars and stuff all up in its face. I think that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool design. Just shows you how far we've come in Pokemon. But to me, I know you don't like it, Shane, but I really like the Moon Legendary.
Well, here I'll say what I don't like about it. I think it's the head that throws me off.
It looks like a Cresselia head almost.
Not to me. It's like a spherical. Like it doesn't belong on it. It doesn't look like it belongs on that Pokemon.
Well, it is crescent shaped, actually.
I think it's got like crescent things around it, but the head itself is a ball.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to look that far into it.
It's got a really cool move from what it looks like.
Yeah, that does look pretty neat. Little...
To me, the Moon Legendary just looks like if you take Mega Salamence, turn it into an ancient Egyptian hieroglyphic, and then make it a Pokemon. There you go.
It does look like it's trying its best to be as flat as possible.
Yeah, like this body is just a wing with a head.
Like I said, Mega Salamence hieroglyphic.
I got a feeling that it's going to be like Dragon Dark type.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I have no idea what this thing could be. Maybe fairy dark.
Very dark would be cool.
That would be scary.
It would be scary.
More
but
like scary dark.
Wow, scary type.
Didn't see that coming.
would it become
Scary type.
Sorry. Anyway, continue on.
Would it become the invincible Pokemon at that point? Like, would it have any weak? I think it would still have. Yeah, because poison would still.
How's bug fare against fairy?
I think it's.
Neutral.
I think it's normally effective. So it would be. Bug, poison. Those things would still be
Steel.
Yeah, steel.
So it turns out it still has a lot of weaknesses.
Well, if you look at it, the better option would still be for it to be like fairy psychic, but I highly doubt it's going to be fairy psychic. Oh, we didn't go over what we thought that the starters were going to come in. What would evolve into.
Oh, Lit's definitely not going to be firefighting.
I could see it become like a firefighting bipedal cat that's like
Hunter,
dressed up like a sock almost.
Can you unsee that?
I could easily see it.
Complete with boxing gloves.
Well, Rowlet is obviously going to be grass flying.
I don't know. It could become.
I think Dragon Dark. Personally.
I think that.
The real question is what the Popplio is going to be. I think Water Fairy.
I think Water Psychic.
Ooh.
That thing looks way too goofy to be Psychic type.
I'm feeling Mono Water.
What if it just
Wow.
grows antennas and becomes water bug?
Water normal. Let's just be generic.
Very generic. But yeah, so I feel like they're going to try and do like they did last time and have different starter types with it. We already have grass flying, which is a new starter type.
If it was just water, that would be really boring.
It would be, but I really don't think it'll be.
I don't
Which
know.
means
Dual
water
types
ice would be possible. And fire.
I feel like dual types is almost overdone at this point.
What type is Dugong? Because we already have water ice.
Water
ice.
Yeah.
Pretty sure Water Ice.
Yeah, so you want another water ice seal?
I mean, it's possible, but I really doubt that that's the way they're going to go with it. It doesn't look like it would be ice.
Yeah,
type.
it doesn't.
I could easily see it being psychic because of the fact that it's supposed to be like a clown, a kind of
Mr. Mime.
What about like a fighting
kind of
type?
like that in a sense.
It kind of looks like an acrobat to me.
It does. I can see it being that to where I would have almost it could be water flying, but it's a seal, so that wouldn't really work. And we already have grass flying, so
They can just all become flying.
Didn't get them whiskers going, boy. I don't know.
I could actually see Litten becoming. This is going to sound crazy, but
Uh-huh.
let me explain. Fire electric.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
I wanted Heliolisk's evolution to be that.
Fire.
Way before X and Y was announced, I wanted to be electric fire, and it didn't happen.
Heliolisk.
I mean,
Helioptile.
Helioptile's evolution. Because I didn't.
I wanted Heliolisk
There was
to be
nothing.
fire
No offense, Shane, but there
electric.
was nothing fire about that thing.
I mean, it's based on the sun. It's based on like solar energy.
You need a sunstone to evolve it.
Exactly.
Well,
Firestone, no, so.
But yeah, I could see it because look, if you look at its when it attacks, it's got the hair that spikes up, which I know that's the way a cat normally does whenever it's
Agitated. Yeah.
yeah. But at the same time, when you think of hair stand up, what do you think of?
Super Saiyan.
static electricity.
Static
Well,
electricity.
there you go.
Give that to us.
So fire electric, maybe it's a stretch, but hey, new
That's
type.
nice.
I'm feeling fire flame, honestly.
Don't forget about psychic.
Don't forget that fire is super effective against water.
Oh my gosh. So, anything else you guys want to add?
No, I'm looking forward to the game.
November 18th.
It's way too far away.
It really is. But hey, at least we get it then, unlike the UK where they get it
Like
the
5 days
25th.
later.
Yeah, like a week later or whatever. Oh, yeah. Anyway, bye.
See you guys.
Later.
Alright.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
I wasn't
Oh,
ready.
oh,
I wasn't
oh,
ready. I wasn't ready.
We're just testing it.
I wasn't
You
ready.
don't have to be ready to test it.
But you gotta warn me next time.
Shut up.